Shalom Aleichem, my friends, and now part 3 of our themes from Orot Hateshuva of Rav Avram Yitzchak HaKohen Kook. As I mentioned last time, Rav Kook introduces an idea about a fruit, about eitz oseh pri, that it said in the Torah that originally that the fruit was supposed to taste just like the tree. Eitz pri oseh pri, there was a tree of a fruit that tasted just like the fruit, and the fruit from the tree tasted just like the tree. If you were to bite into the bark, if you were to bite into the branches, it would be identical in flavor and in terms of substance to the fruit itself. Sheyehei tam ha'etz ketam piryo. However, after some time, something happened, and it says vatotzei haaretz, and the land produced eitz oseh pri, a tree that produces a fruit. In other words, explains Rav Kook, even though initially the fruit was supposed to taste like the tree and vice versa, now the fruit no longer tasted like the tree. It had an independent flavor. You would bite into the fruit, and it would be delicious and sweet, and it would look a certain way, and then you would bite into the tree and it would be hard and woody and pulpy, and would have no flavor and be impossible to chew and impossible to swallow. Mitchilas habriya, says Rav Kook, Ra'ui shayash tam ha'etz liot gam hu ketam piryo. From the inception of the creation of the world, it was supposed to be that the flavor of the fruit and the flavor of the tree were identical. Kol emtsayim machzikim ezo megamat ruchnit gevoa klalit ra'uyim hayu liot muchosh mechush nishmati bo'oto hagova va'anoam she'etzam megamah murgeshet bo kishanu mitzayim oso. It was supposed to be that when you taste into the product of creation, it was supposed to be very similar to the force that created in the first place. In other words, the way of the world was that God, the Creator, wanted you to experience godliness, wanted you to experience His presence in everything that He created, in every person, in every animal, in every fruit. Everywhere you go, you were supposed to have an interaction with Ratzon Hashem, with the will of God. If you explain this mashal with another parable, perhaps it would become something that's a little more palpable, something that registers a little more. We know that when we interact on a computer, on a phone, with a program, we're seeing a very high-level program. We're seeing boxes and windows and functions, and you see the cursor of the mouse go on the screen over the advertisement, and you see the email that pops up in front of you. We are actually looking at a program, which is a layer on top of a layer, on top of a layer, on top of many, many, many layers, and then if you break it down to the rudimentary pieces, the roots of that program, you will see a series of binary numbers, zeros and ones, in a given sequence that represent something else. And that if you were to take those numbers and put them in a certain permutation, a certain order, you can generate a program. And that program is then reprogrammed so it has a certain appearance, it has a certain interface for the user. And eventually we get what appears to us on the screen today. Now, if you're totally disconnected from reality, so all you see is the window, all you see is the advertisement, all you see is the video that's playing on YouTube, you don't see the series of zeros and ones that are really behind the code, which is behind the code. Same thing with the world. When you see something delicious like a fruit, when you see something that gives you pleasure, the smile on a baby's face, when you see anything, really, it is code language. It is a code. It is a cover of Ratzon Hashem, of the will of God, which is channeled into this world on a level that we can appreciate it, on a level that we can enjoy it. The problem with the world that requires tshuva, is that we don't see Ratzon Hashem behind it. We bite into a fruit, and we don't taste the flavor of the tree. We see eitz oseh pri. We see a tree that produces a fruit, and not eitz pri oseh pri. The avodah of tshuva, the avodah of returning to God, is being able to connect the dots of the high-level program back to the binary numbers. Being able to connect all the wonderful gifts that we have in our lives back to the source, back to the makor, back to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If we can do that, then we can start to see the purpose in the world yet again. And that emerges by reconnecting the dots through the avodah of returning back to God.